So a little background behind this set made it fun is that a lot of French players, including Ogey, were like beyond convinced that Ogey is better than me. And obviously, I mean, I don't consider like a Falcon Ditto to be the most decisive thing in the world as far as determining who's the better player overall. But it was still nice to kind of shut that down a little bit. Had a lot of people trash talk, and it was nice to just let my gameplay speak for me.
Yes! Show me your moves.
So the reason neither of us played Blood Falcon is we gentlemened that if one of us had it, we would feel like a bit of an advantage. So we just decided that neither of us would use Blood Falcon. This is a matchup that I used to have some issues with at higher levels. I feel like I was inconsistent in it for quite a while. And one thing that changed a lot with, I want to say the last few months, is I feel like I really figured out the matchup to where I feel like if I lose at this point in the Ditto, I can say with confidence that I understand the matchup well enough to where if I get outplayed anyway, I won't feel like on some level I'm just making mistakes that I shouldn't, you know? They're just strictly outplaying me, in which case, if they're strictly outplaying me, then it's cool, you know? So the reason that drop zone worked was because I had a delay on it. Normally when when someone goes for a drop zone down air, it's because you do it immediately, right? But because I delayed it slightly, it didn't look like I was going to do it. There's a lot of value in just figuring out what a lot of Falcons are going to do in all these different edgeguard situations. And then if you're going to go for a similar option, mix up your timings to where you make it look like you're not going to. I feel like I was playing pretty good, and I think Ogey was also playing pretty good for the first little while. But things started changing after game 4, if I remember correctly. Also, can I give a special shout out to the French crowds? Those motherfuckers are loud. I like that even though I was as a whole getting rooted against literally every single set I played, they still were like getting hyped for like cool shit I was doing, you know? Yep. So the reason I did that DI on that up air string was if you DI up and in on the last two up airs, of all the different ways that you can DI for the up air knee strings, that is the one that's hardest to cover on paper. He just read it and then executed. So, good of Ogey. And of course, that's a true combo too. Yep. Notice how I do that little aerial thing first to make it look like I'm gonna cover like jumping options. A lot of the time, if you make it look like you're gonna cover jumping options, people are gonna be a little more incentivized to hang on the ledge a little longer, which is why I go for that down tilt there. And of course, I made him hesitate a little bit, and because of that, it worked. But a lot of this Ditto is just playing very passively with a lot of your movement. And then if you are going to run away with a dash shield. If you use a lot of passive movement along with a dash shield away, you're able to beat out pretty much all of the just Randy burst options that you might have to worry about. And once you can kind of like shut down a lot of the Randy burst options you have to worry about in the Ditto, it becomes a lot easier to just play normal neutral and then just focus on movement reads and good execution. I wanted to simplify the neutral as much as possible. That's why I picked FD as a counter pick. Well, I don't even care if people thought that before Lost Woods. I won the exhibition, and I also made it a lot farther in the tournament. So it's like, I don't need to say anything, you know? I don't need to like brag on Twitter or anything. Oh, yep. Yeah, he got greedy there. The moment he got that up air, I was like, shit, he's gonna try and up B me. Like, the moment I saw that, I knew he was gonna come after me. And I was just like, no. You think getting second in this major gives you momentum and confidence for the LCQ? Oh yeah, for sure. If I'm not at minimum a top 8 seed in the last chance qualifier, I'm gonna feel robbed. I feel like at this point I've earned a high seed for that, you know? Oh I feel the beating coming. Yep. Good edge guard. Listen to this crowd. And about the early matchup, I do feel like I've gotten a lot better at it. I feel like I was kind of iffy in it for a long time, but I feel like I finally figured it out pretty recently. I feel like I understand neutral, finally. Took me forever, but yep. Yep. Just good option coverage. He just didn't really have anywhere to go. And yeah, Wadi did not make Summit. I don't think he's going to the LCQ either, so no Wadi for Summit. Rip. Yep. That was such a good aerial read. Why didn't I try going for Summit? Because I was going to be in France the whole time during campaigning. And I just don't think you can realistically get in without being able to stay home and stream. But like, I didn't bother campaigning for Summit because I wouldn't be able to stay home and stream for it. So I just felt like it was... I felt like it would just be pointless. I didn't think I could realistically get in. And I didn't feel like deluding myself into like, oh, people will vote for you. Because there were people campaigning their asses off and had around the same amount of clout as me who still couldn't make it in. And you think I could? Unrealistic. MDVA betrayed Wadi. Oh yeah, they decided to support Peanut. But to be honest, I totally get that because Wadi's had like tons of opportunities at like bigger tournaments and stuff. I kind of like for something like Summit, kind of deciding to vote in the people who don't get these kinds of opportunities, you know? Admiral Thiago. Pro tip. 99% of the time, Cola says anything, you shouldn't take it seriously. Wild, nonsensical shit. Let's go over that combo. But yeah, that's just a classic. I had the read that he wasn't gonna do anything there. Like, this is why I went for that. I just misspaced it.
Falcon.
I read that he wasn't gonna air dodge or do anything. That knee. Oh well.
Gentleman, docteur c'est bon, la DIA est très bonne de la part de Ogey, il aura le EP, il envoie de l'autre côté, et sans serait pour l'instant, les pourcents sont très bas, Falcon kick encore une fois, l'option est très bonne ici, Axido.
Oh yeah, I love this read. And they start cheering for their boy. They're trying their best to hype him up to pull off the reverse, you know? He has to reverse 5-0 me here, so, you know. Ogey is kind of going in the... Not gonna lie.
Elle serait exceptionnelle dans ce show match. Mais attention, Fatality. Évidemment, c'est pas assez, mais il va chercher très très loin. Il va à la pêche.
Yeah, he lost his jump. So why didn't I go for the Falcon punch? Dude, landing Falcon Punch against like really good players is so hard. Well, when I did one versus MK Leo, there also wasn't $500 on the line. This was an exhibition with shmoney on the line and a trophy. Yeah, Christian Cream. Emos is a nice dude. He's ranked #1 in Saudi Arabia, and this is like his first big tournament. He did really well. Shoutouts to him. And Zeppelin, France is sick.
Mais Fatality contrôle le stage. Ceci étant dit, Ogey arrive à se stabiliser. Il y a un grab, ça continue. Est-ce qu'il peut le tout frame? Il récupère le stage. Il y a un nouveau grab. Il y a un air. Il sort.
He messed up his DI at the end.
Mesdames et messieurs, Fatality qui a remporté ce FT7.
And that's the dub. I end up winning the exhibition 7-2.
Venu à domicile, il a montré que c'était pas trop sur FatalityFalcon.
Vraiment très très grand respect à Ogey. Tous les Français étaient très confiants.
Respect dans le chat.